What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You guys already know what we're here to get into. And before we do so, I need you guys to go ahead and thumbs up the video. You guys know that thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another conscious crew member and telling them to get their arses into the sanctuary, because the king is indeed kanging. Also, shout out to all of the new subbies. We are dawning upon our 45K and we're going up, baby. All right, so shout out to all of the new subbies. Make sure that you guys have all of your notification bells set to all, and please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital media, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Insta story, your Snapchat, your Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're allowed live and in color. With no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Okay.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let me shout out to my baby mother, Tonia, for the old nasty piece of cash app. Thank you, baby. Y'all be throwing them bands on the king before he even get on the stage. Good. All right, let me speak to some of y'all coming into the building. What's going on, Kirk? Hi, Tarita. What's going on, VS? What's going on, Whoopi Rock? What's going on, Corn Silk? Hey, Sharon. Hey, Jay Goody. Hey, Callie. Hey, Sherry. What's going on, Sandra? Hey, Miss Leo. What's going on, Ravonda? Hey, Marla. Hey, Cosmic Sun Souls. What's going on, Pamela? Hey, Erica. Hey, Natural Sophisticated. What's going on? It's Nene. What's going on, Max Got Facts? Hey, Joanne. Hey, Serenity. What's going on, Brad Tanika? Hey, Boo. What's going on, the Leon Styles? What's going on, Constance? Hey, the Missus. What's going on, y'all? Hey, Remy. What's going on, TL Goldie? Hey, Jackie. Hey, Morkey's mom. What's going on, Erica? Hey, Anthony. What's going on, Cali girl? But you know what, Boo? They ain't got to do that, because where we going and the things we got lined up in the next 3-4 months, baby, these folk gonna have to see me. They ain't gonna have to worry about giving no credit, baby. Okay? CTV about to be the whole clout in this bitch. All right? We're working. Thank you, Ray. Hey, Boo. What's going on, Queen Kesh? Or Keish? What's going on? Hi, Ashley. Hey, Just Be Real. What's going on, Walking Truth Network? Hey, Boo. Hey, Tina. What's going on, Shark Tank? Hey, Juanita. What's going on, Lady J? Hey, Miss Mika. What's going on, Magic Crystal? Hey, y'all. Hey, The Breakdown. What's going on, Remy? Hey, Miss Leo. What's going on, Oz? Hey, Boo. What's going on, Serenity? Hey, Nessie. It's a lot of y'all in the building, girl, all right? Shout out to also my baby father saying, "For how you doing?" Shout out to Louis. I'm doing great. I'm tired. I'm working, but I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm highly motherfucking favored, and I can't complain. Now, because we got a lot to get into, I don't want to keep you guys here long with all of this hoopla. So you guys already know what's been going on, girl. There has been a world of controversy as it relates to some of our mainstream billionaires, girl. Everybody from Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, T.D. Jakes, etc. have all entered into the algorithm as a result of Cassie's lawsuit, which seemed to have opened the door for all of this going on. Now, for those of you who've been living under a rock, all right, because T.D. Jakes been headlining, girl, everything from being a power bottom everything from being a member of the Black Boule, all right, everything from staging, healings, girl, all of TD Jakes stuff is coming up and out, girl. They're even nicknaming or saying the acronym or the initials TD stands for taking dick. All right, taking. Now, I've been thinking about the way I want to have this dialogue, considering all of the things that are going on publicly, as well as all of the things that are going on privately. I'm going to give a very fair commentary when it comes to TD Jakes. All right, I'm gonna tell you guys what's being alleged. I'm gonna tell you guys what has landed on my desk. I'm gonna talk to you guys about everything going on, including TD Jakes' ex-mentee, Prophet Manasseh. Is it Manasseh? I'm gonna say Manasseh. Prophet Jordan, girl, okay? Bishop Jordan's son, all right, who is the ex-mentee of TD Jakes, who also spoke out recently, all right? His video is going viral as well. Now, I know that members of the Bottoms House, girl, are probably going to be in here. All I ask, girl, is, you are allowed to windmill down. All right, everybody got their following, honey. Everybody got their windmillers, okay? I'm not mad. Every kingdom has this military, okay? So, I ain't mad at members of the Bottoms House, girl, okay? Defending the honor of their leader, Grant, all right? But just keep it as cute as you can. But you are allowed to do what you need to do on behalf of your master, all right? Now, before we even get any further into that, let me state that everything said in this commentary is alleged and referenced and speculated and according to said sources, etc., unless stated otherwise. All right, y'all know that TD Jakes is also allegedly around here striking channels, girl. So we ain't gonna be playing no footage. We will be playing audio only. You guys know that Storm and Rowe came through last night. His channel was struck, and there have been a dozen other channels that have been struck as well regarding TD Jakes' recent sermon, which he chose to use as an opportunity to slam the allegations against him that he has been a founding father and a consistent participant in these boule-ass backdoor P. Diddy freak-offs, all right? Was Cassie getting urinated on by the pastor, baby? We don't know, baby, but we're going to get into all of those things. Tyrus said, I got enough combat experience for all your ops. Let me go ahead and mod you up, Tyrus. Okay, let me mod up some masculine energy around her. Okay, we got the Wakanda women holding it down. Let me see if I can mod you up, Tyrus. Hold on. Because Tyrus said he got a big foot. All right, now y'all know though, we try to have an open door policy when it comes to commentary over here. So don't just be blocking up everybody, okay? People allowed to be oppositional. They allowed to, they allowed to get a little zesty, get a little spicy. But y'all know when it's giving too much, okay? Y'all feel it when it's team to merge. Let me see if I can find Tyrus. I don't even see you in the stream, Tyrus, even though I can see you in StreamYard. Where the hell is Tyrus at? Tyrus, drop down again. Like, make a comment again so I can moderate you. What's going on, Kimberly Black? What's going on, Devon? Hey, Chloe. Hey, y'all. All right, there it is. Let me add as a moderator. All right. You're in there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look and a listen as to where T.D. Jakes entered the algorithm, girl, okay? How did it get from Cassie and her 35-page lawsuit slamming P. Diddy, alleging everything from sex parties to sex workers to abuse claims, human trafficking claims? How did that all lead to Bishop T.D. Jakes? Well, it all started with an interesting TikTok video that has about 1.7 million views at this point. All right, let me go ahead and share my old nasty piece of screen gear and take a listen at Miss Sister Girl here. Matter of fact, hold on, I'm gonna have to change my microphone over, girl. All right.
Ain't nobody gonna catch me slipping, okay? Okay. So allegedly, Cassie has turned over evidence to the feds. Yes, to the Fed. She has turned over videotapes, a USB drive, and Kim Porter's burner phone. Now, there is also an alleged email out saying a plethora of other things that include T.D. Jakes with Diddy. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. I'm not gonna say nothing else.
This here, GWORL, Cassie has turned over substantial amounts of evidence to the feds. I'm told that after Cassie had a long conversation with Blank, I have to protect this person. They're going through a lot right now. And her lawyers, she finally was convinced to give up the videotapes and audio recordings that contain footage of S parties and other private gatherings that feature some pretty powerful and prominent people. And get this, she even gave up a burner phone and USBs that belong to Kim Porter with incriminating evidence against Diddy. I'm told that there are a slew of artists, politicians, and entertainers that are about to be exposed and arrested for H10. I'm paraphrasing there, okay? H10. I'm told that Cassie's husband played a significant role in getting Cassie to turn over the evidence. It's to my understanding that Cassie felt that by exposing the truth, it would also make her look like a filthy Moor. And I'm paraphrasing there because some of the videos she turned in, it shows her getting number one, okay, guys, I'm paraphrasing again, and committing more disgusting acts that she was forced to do. I'm also told that multiple male escorts corroborated the fact that T.D. Jakes have slept with multiple men at Diddy's parties and abroad, and they refer to him as being a power bottom. Wow. It's also been said that a young male has acquired a lawyer to represent him as he is set to sue Jakes for an incident that took place when he was just years old. It's been said that the young man was forced to perform sloppy toppy, and I'm paraphrasing here, guys. You can actually put two and two together to understand what I'm trying to say. It's been said that the man's family were members of the Potter's House, but left the church in 2015. According to multiple church insiders, the parents were paid off to keep quiet. The guy's a grown man now and is seeking his own justice. It's been said that the young man doesn't even deal with his parents even to this day because they took hush money. According to Pastor Blank, and I have to protect this pastor, Bishop Jakes is about to get railroaded and all of his dirt will be exposed. That's why the bishop has quietly lawyered up. He sees his fall from grace coming.
Just don't look good for nobody. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Hollywood is being turned upside down. Jeffrey Epstein's list is going to come out. If this is actually true, this list is going to come out. And we already know T.D. Jakes is caught up with the other shit, allegedly being the person that is messing with Christian Keys. Everybody's saying it's either allegedly T.D. Jakes or allegedly Tyler Perry. It's either one of them. But, oh my God, if this is true, buckle up, because next year, 2024, y'all better get y'all bingo cards out, because it's going to get real. Before I say anything, this is allegedly. Ain't nobody going to catch me slipping, okay? Okay. So allegedly, Cassie has turned over evidence to the feds. Yes, to the feds. She has turned over videotapes, a USB drive, and Kim Porter's burner phone. Now, there is also an alleged email out saying a plethora of other things that include T.D. Jakes with Diddy. I'm going to let y'all listen to it. I'm not going to say nothing else.
This here, GWORL, Cassie has turned over substantial amounts.
All right, so you guys heard all of that. Let me change up on my microphone, girl. All right, so this is where it all started, from this elusive TikTok video regarding a podcaster who claimed to have some inside tea that Cassie, recording artist, ex-girlfriend of P. Diddy, had turned over some emails, Kim Porter's burner phone, some footage, etc., that allegedly incriminates T.D. Jakes, all right? Also, it's being alleged that one of his alleged victims, who was underage at the time that they were essayed, who's now grown and estranged from his parents, also planned to come forward about that SA. And it just goes on and on and on and on. Now, this video sent shockwaves through the media, all right? And to further expound upon the Diddy and T.D. Jakes connection, I want you guys to take a look and listen to this here TikTok video as well, covered by no other than Fair Use.
Behind the scenes.
Look at the hand gesture. Look at how T.D. Jakes is standing. Y'all know that stand.
I got to give a special thank you to the people that was really like there for me. Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Mace just dropped a bombshell about the controversial preacher and Diddy's longtime friend, T.D. Jakes. And rumor has it that Pastor Jakes has been attending a lot of freak-offs at Diddy's parties. Rumors about T.D. Jakes being everything but a man of God have been circulating for a long time. However, some new details surfaced recently about him and Diddy being part of a secret club where freak-offs are just the tip of the iceberg. So what did Mace reveal about T.D. Jakes? And what exactly did Jakes do at Diddy's parties? Let's get into it.
And I want to tell you why, if the devil can use him aggressively, then I want you to know God can use me aggressively.
It looks like Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy could be the unraveling of the industry. And if Diddy gets criminally prosecuted, there's a long list of people he could drag down with him. And one of them is his longtime friend and spiritual mentor, T.D. Jakes. Now, if you don't know who T.D. Jakes is, he's one of those prosperity preachers who claims Jesus is rich and God wants us to accumulate as much wealth as possible. But you'll never catch T.D. Jakes doing what Jesus did and spending time with the poor and the downtrodden. Instead, Bishop Jakes prefers to keep the company of presidents, celebrities, and billionaires. And hands down, his favorite celebrity to hang out with is Diddy. So much so that rumors have been circulating for years that these two are more than friends. Speculations about T.D. Jakes being on the DL have been around for a long time, and they reached a fever pitch back in 2009 after his son, Jermaine Jakes, was arrested for openly soliciting gay sex from an undercover vice detective in a public park, just a few blocks from his father's megachurch, the Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. Now, as for Diddy and T.D. Jakes' friendship, it goes back years, and Diddy even enlisted Jakes to officiate the funeral of his ex, Kim Porter. When Kim died, Pastor Jakes shared her photo on his Instagram, and in the caption, he talked about the love Diddy had for Kim. He wrote, "Though you may grieve her absence, realize that many people never had such love in all of their lives. You are blessed to have someone to miss." So it looks like T.D. Jakes thinks love means controlling, beating, and breaking your girlfriend's nose, because that's exactly how Diddy treated Kim, allegedly.
Kim was going through the same thing. The beatings, that's Kim's book. Did you hear about the fact that he broke Kim's nose on a yacht?
But despite Diddy's reputation as one of the most depraved men in the industry, T.D. Jakes never missed an invitation to one of Diddy's infamous parties. By the way, when Jaguar Wright was asked why she thinks T.D. Jakes is always at Diddy's parties, she had this to say.
But for him to be at a Diddy party, I don't know. Like, I feel the same way about that as I feel about when Tyler Perry came to his church and laid hands on him and he caught the Holy Spirit from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the bishop of what? Like, I've never, like, and I cut a check for $100, and I'm gonna lay my hands on your bishop, and he said, and then the bishop said, it's on the internet. He's doing all of this, right? And then there's a woman on the dais screaming, push the baby out, birth that baby, push the. I'm like, are we a church? Or is this about to turn into like a whole nother scene, like a lost scene from Eyes Wide Shut?
And Jaguar wasn't lying about that Tyler Perry situation. Back in 2013, T.D. Jakes received a
These
All
guys.
right, so that was just a little piece of that. Let me go ahead and switch over my microphone again. So you guys see T.D. Jakes is P. Diddy's mentor, his spiritual teacher, healer, etc. There are a plethora of videos and images and pictures of Diddy and Jakes together. Once again, T.D. Jakes was over the eulogy for Kim Porter's funeral, whom died under very, very suspect circumstances. Matter of fact, the interview that I've been telling you guys about with Geppetto Jackson, who was actually a good friend of Kim Porter, is going to divulge some things around her passing and some of the things that he bear witness to as someone who was very, 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 very close to the Porters and the Combs family. All right. Now, I want to say this just so that I don't forget my talking points. There's been a lot of controversy over what does it mean that T.D. Jakes, a Black, prolific, religious figure, is in cahoots with secular individuals like Diddy. What does this mean? Does this mean he's guilty as charged, that he is a part of some of the things that Cassie alleged against Diddy, etc.? Is T.D. Jakes taking a walk on a wild side, all right, and Diddy is his partner in crime? Or is this just something that looks really bad on T.D. Jakes' behalf, aka guilty by association? The argument can go in either direction, all right? When we're talking about leaders and we're talking about pop culture figures, even if they are religious or spiritual, a lot of these people are focused on their bag and their brand that oftentimes puts them in a position to also seek secular visibility. T.D. Jakes, we know, also is in cahoots with Oprah. He's had a talk show. He's in cahoots with OWN Networks. You already know he's good friends with Tyler Perry. And I just have to say, none of this helps T.D. Jakes, right? None of this helps with any of the allegations. He's tied to some of the most messiest folk who are coming under all type of fire. You guys know Oprah, Ozempic, Winfrey, allegedly kept and ambushed and snuffed out Whoopi Goldberg when it came to the new Color Purple movie. You guys also know there's major tension between the new castmates for the new Color Purple and Oprah. Allegedly, Oprah also snuffed Taraji P. Henson out of her earnings, okay? Cut that check real low, baby. Had Taraji down there to the WIC office, down there to Harvest food bank girl, down there to the food pantry, to the nonprofits, getting bread and balakna to live off of, girl. So then you got Lee Daniels, who you guys also know ran off with $2 million. Not Lee Daniels. What's my boy? Jay-Z, homeboy. Damon Dash, money girl. Damon Dash had to run down there and find Lee Daniels down there to the Destiny's Child concert, girl, for his goddamn coin. So all of this going on, who T.D. Jakes is tied to, his very close relationships to very secular folk, and then all of these secular folk who also run in an interesting circle together, who are known for thievery, bribery, lying, theft. And now some of them are under fire for being sexually deviant and sexual predators. I'll leave it for y'all to call which way the dial ends, okay? Could just be coincidence, a big part of the reality of all of these spaces, whether they're religious spaces or whether they're secular spaces, is that the people in high places have done egregious things to exist where they are. And most people in all these spaces, especially spaces that come with fame and come with wealth, are squirrels trying to get a nut. So the morality and the ethics of most of these industries are not high. People are screwing their way to the top, pussy popping their way to the top. People are selling their souls, signing their names in blood on dotted lines. And Christ told you guys 2,500 years ago that the prince of this dimension was Satan himself, baby. Okay, that he's the ruler of this realm. And anybody who's sitting at the top of the pyramid more than likely has inherited the world in exchange for his soul, aka his morals, his values, his ethics, his divinity, and his or her virtue. Innocence completely corrupted. Now, from there, Unhinged decided to enter the chat, okay? Unhinged with Foloco K. And she made a post on December the 21st that read, I really hate to disappoint y'all, but the Cassie story of her turning over Kim Porter's phone to the feds is a complete lie. Cassie signed an iron NDA and will void her payoff if she cooperates or even speaks of this. Indeed, she left crumbs in her lawsuit for the feds to pick up on, but she cannot and probably will not forfeit her payoff anytime soon or ever. The feds have not raided any of Diddy's homes. However, they are investigating, but Diddy has his hoes in check for now. So they have nothing to charge him with. And the T.D. Jakes power bottom story, let's just say it ain't the first time we've heard of this. All right. Now, of course, we're not taking advice from a bitch who's drunk and owes another bitch $4 million and is right now being sued by Kevin Hart, Will Smith, and who also got R. Kelly on her neck for breaking federal damn law. So you can strap that whole first little sentence there from Unhinged, because a NDA does not protect a person from criminality. NDAs are, first of all, enforceable, but not enforceable generally when it comes to criminality. And since we're talking about human trafficking, etc., when we're talking about sexual abuse, when we're talking about coercion, when we're talking about revenge, when we're talking about all of these things, and the law, aka the feds, aka the CIA, aka etc., wants to step into frame, your NDA is null and void. So if the Fed stepped into the equation in the hypothetical to investigate any of these things, and Cassie was sitting on information, she was sitting on footage, audio, screenshots, etc., that could corroborate these allegations, criminal allegations, she would not be in breach of her NDA at all. Okay? Now, moving along. T.D. Jakes then first spoke out and slammed these allegations through his T.D. Jakes, okay, I think I had a little glitch there. T.D. Jakes spoke through his PR person, okay? So this was his first line of fire as it relates to these allegations that he's in slings, dressed up as a big-ass Pinocchio, getting thrashed, getting rummaged, getting plumaged, all in his bussy meat, girl, that he down there to the P. Diddy mansion, girl, getting into some hot and heavy big boy things. Okay, down there being a fur baby and shit. All right. Let's read this article from ChristianPost.com. A representative for popular televangelist T.D. Jakes, who leads the Potter's House megachurch in Dallas, Texas, has dismissed as unequivocally false and baseless an unverified report casting innuendo about his sexuality and accusing him of being a frequent participant at sex parties hosted by producer and music mogul Sean Combs, known by his stage name, Diddy. Quote, recent claims circulating on pockets of social media about Bishop T.D. Jakes are unequivocally false and baseless. Jordan A. Hora, executive director of public relations and communications for the Jakes Group, T.D. Jakes Ministries, and the Potter's House, told the Christian Post in an exclusive statement on Thursday. What has always been true, in the words of the late Pastor Charles H. Spurgeon, if you want the truth to go around the world, you must hire an express train to pull it. But if you want a lie to go around the world, it will fly. It is as light as a feather, and a breath will carry it. Hora said it was, quote, disheartening to witness the proliferation of numerous deep fake photos and the distortion of words through false, sensationalized misrepresentations, encapsulating purported statements to falsely speculate and attack others, including T.D. Jakes. There is much more important work to be done to create a better world, she said. The Bible teaches us the importance of compassion and care for others, especially those who may be marginalized or in need. Chairman Jakes, undeterred by false, perverse, ignorant, and conspiratorial speculations, will persevere in his continued dedication to create meaningful change for millions around the globe, guided by the timeless principles of compassion, service, and ministry. Jakes, a 66-year-old married father and grandfather, has been a well-known figure in the Christian community for decades, fouling arenas across the globe with followers clamoring to hear his sermons, buy his books, and support his philanthropic work. On Thursday, Jake's name became a trending topic on multiple social media platforms after a YouTube channel known as Tough News TV embroiled the Woman Thou Art Loosed author in a recently settled lawsuit in which R&B singer Cassie accused Combs of RAPE, as well as repeated physical abuse over nearly a decade. In the explosive lawsuit, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, alleged that shortly after she met Combs in 2005, at the age of 19, he began a controlling and abusive relationship with her in which she was given drugs, beaten, and forced to have sex with male prostitutes as he filmed. Combs allegedly hosted the orgies at high-end hotels across the U.S. On Wednesday, Tough News host Jermaine McKinley claimed near the end of a 37-minute video on YouTube that he received an email from an unnamed source alleging that Cassie turned over to investigators a burner phone that belonged to Kim Porter, the late model and mother of Diddy's children, who died in 2018. Cassie also allegedly shared a USB device containing recordings of Diddy's alleged sex parties, where he reportedly hosted several powerful people, including Jakes. Quote, I'm also told, okay, we already heard that from the video. The video sources alleges that the minor whose family attended the Potter's house until he left in 2015 was forced to perform a sex act on Jakes. The source further alleges that the boy's family was paid off to keep what happened quiet, but he now intends to seek his own justice as an adult. On Thursday, TikTok user Justine made a clip of the allegations, which you all just saw, which had already been viewed more than 1.6 million times on that platform alone, elicited hundreds of thousands of reactions. The video was also shared on X, making Jakes a top 5 trending topic with Diddy. The X video was viewed 11.1 million times as of Friday afternoon. When questioned by CP about the source of the allegations against Jakes, McKinley did not respond. Just over a year ago, video of Jakes attending Diddy's 53rd birthday party in Los Angeles caused a stir on social media. Derek Williams, executive vice president of T.D. Jakes Entertainment, who was also in attendance at the party, told CP that the video was captured during a brief stop at the party while they were on business in the area. Another source close to the situation also told CP that as far as they are aware, that is the only party hosted by Diddy that Jakes has ever attended. As a filmmaker, executive producer, and one of the pioneers of value-based movies, Bishop Jakes, in his role as CEO of T.D. Jakes Entertainment, paid respect to the former chairman of Revolt during the celebration of his birthday, Williams said. Bishop Jakes was in LA for important business meetings, and we felt that a quick appearance at the former chairman of Revolt's birthday event was the respectful thing to do. Since Bishop Jakes' sermons are aired on the Revolt network, he explained. We both greeted the family. Bishop Jakes recorded a brief celebratory birthday video and left immediately to take our scheduled meetings. Any accusation to the contrary is wholly unsubstantiated, unverified, and false. Williams insisted that Bishop T.D. Jakes will continue to break barriers and find relevant ways to tell faith-based and value-based stories. This and only this continues to be our North Star. So, bitch, they saying, girl, it's all cap, girl, okay? T.D. Jakes throwing that ass in a circle, girl. T.D. Jakes crawling all on the floor like Jocelyn Hernandez, coked out at a goddamn in-house studio, girl. It's all cap. Now, once again, adding a little bit of sensibility to these claims, T.D. Jakes in business with P. Diddy, his sermons air on Revolt, which Diddy has now stepped down from, essentially with them being business partners and Diddy essentially almost in a way being his boss to a degree. You can expect some mingling and socializing respectfully. Okay? Now, obviously this was not enough for T.D. Jakes, girl, because when she saw that TikTok and YouTube and Instagram videos were at 1.7 billion damn views, girl, Miss T.D. Jakes said, oh, bitch, nah, man. I'm going to have to address this straight from the Potter's home, girl. Now, because T.D. Jakes around her flagging and striking videos because he now allegedly has re-edited his original sermon to leave out him addressing and slamming these allegations, we're not going to play the visual footage. But what we is going to do is play the audio. So let me go ahead and switch over the old nasty mic, girl, and listen to T.D. Jakes' sound bites from the Lord's house.
It was perfect.
Hold on, let me restart this.
I never put down nobody. I'm okay because I never told you I was perfect. I never put down nobody. I got my own flaws and my own fault, but I didn't do that. That ain't the kind of stuff you forget.
Now, as he's saying this, I'm going to bring up a visual for y'all. As he's saying that, his wife is in the background making this here face. Okay?
I'm okay because I never told.
Now, this is part 2 of that sermon.
That kind of government on their shoulders don't have time to be playing with freaks. And anybody who has that kind of government on their shoulders don't have time to be playing with freaks.
Now y'all may be asking, who the hell T.D Jakes talking to? He talking to all of y'all, baby. All of y'all he talking about, sugar. Now, another question that has come up has been, what is a power bottom? For all of y'all who are outside of the LGBT community and y'all don't understand our colloquialisms, etc., girl, a power bottom is someone's booty meat or someone's coochie hole that has been profoundly, supernaturally ordained and anointed to take any length, width, girth, and velocity of peen. A power bottom has a hole that can endure for a night, so that joyous may cometh in the morning, baby. A power bottom's hole is designed to be a energy dumpster for the masculine vessel to just dump all of their trauma, all their abuse and ungodly and unholiness, all of their treachery into this hole, baby. This is a hole, okay, that can be fisted. It could be stretched, girl, as wide as the block is long, and yet there is a snap back effect, honey, just when you think that the power bottom is at their wit's end, girl, just when the masculine assumes, girl, that they have made the power bottom submit through the thrashing and the thrusting. Oh no. Unlike normal people, the power bottom begs for more. It asks for deeper rummaging, deeper, daddy. Okay, the whole desires, in the words of T.D. Jakes, they'll be swallowed up, honey. Swallowed up, baby. This can swallow not only the pain, it can swallow any inanimate object. You can throw a submarine in it, bitch. You can throw a ring light, a tripod. Baby, it's so much room in the bow, in the opening of a power bottom's puss, that you can turn that thing into a second wing of the house, sugar. Okay, that's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath space in the bussy of a power bottom. So essentially what I'm saying, and essentially what I'm describing, is you all are power bottoms. All my gays, all my ladies, and all my men who like to play submissive, okay? We talking about all y'all, baby. Okay? All y'all who love to sit in absent salt. All y'all who love to take your pre-plant power bottom baths, baby. Okay, there's a whole science to getting the pussy ready. And there's a whole science to healing the pussy in the aftermath and the head-on collision of a toxic masculine vessel and the anointed pussy meat and pussy meat that is its equivalent. All right? Now, I don't know why y'all asked me to describe all that. Got a little carried away there, but we just gonna move it along. Now, as a result of T.D. Jakes saying that little part there about freaks, it triggered up Prophet Manasseh Jordan, girl. Okay, y'all know fine behind, good looking, handsome, third eye, metaphysical, spiritualist, man of God, mystic, prophet, Manasseh. I'm fucking his name up. I know it. I can feel it. Well, he apparently used to be the ex-mentee of Jakes. He was actually under Jakes' tutelage. He was under his guidance, his leadership, and the time in which he was under the tutelage of Jakes. This was when he was also estranged from his father, the one and only Black Prophet of America, Bishop Bernard Jordan. All right. Well, he did an Instagram upload that also is now going viral. And I want you guys to take a look and a listen, baby, because T.D. Jakes, I don't believe he gonna catch a break in the damn time soon, sugar. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen again. Hold on. And let you listen to Prophet Jordan, the ex-mentee of T.D. Jakes, baby. Now, this was 2 days ago, and he captioned the video, 2024 is the year of exposure, and we are going to see it in effect in the church arena. The abuse of power within the church and with certain leaders will now be judged categorically. Expose, shadow work, all of that, etc. All right, let me go ahead and switch my microphone over and take a listen to what Prophet Jordan had to say.
Hey fam, those that have been watching me, I've been saying that in 2024, it's going to be the year of exposure. And God is exposing certain people. People that normally was able to use their power, their influence, and their money to silence people, those days are over. And before I hear people saying that, oh, this is sowing tear in the body of Christ, the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth. So before you say, touch not my anointing, do my prophets no harm, that's a Neshian statement, because that scripture is referring to Israel. You're taking the scripture out of context. And if the Holy Spirit is a spirit of truth, then speaking truth is not sowing tears. It's bringing reformation and healing. In my 20s, I got to be around some of the biggest men and women of God. And I got to witness things because I got to see them without their armor. One of the things that really happens, and seldom talk about, is that there's something called grooming. And it happens in the Pentecostal church, it happens in many churches, but I'm referring to the Black church specifically. And what that means is that there'll be a bishop, a pastor, apostle, someone who has big conferences. Everybody knows, oh my God, they're the holy man of God. And they will pick their victims and they groom them. And it first goes through stage one where they ask questions. What are you into? What do you like? You need to tell daddy everything. And so they're using verbosity and they're using this type of garrulous narrative to try to make you feel comfort, to make you build comfort with their victim. And then from there, it goes into stage two. And stage two is where it begins to become sexual. And it first starts by either making facetious jokes, making little statements, innuendos, and then it goes into the questions of what turns you on? What do you like sexually? You need to tell me this because I need to know, because I need to be able to pray for you. So it's almost like a psychological power game that they're playing with you. And in your head, if you say something wrong, they project it on you. They body shame you. Oh, you're too sexual. Oh, look at your body. Oh, you're the one that's making me do this. Oh, you. And so you have that in the back of your head. And then you also have in their head of their dumb, misinformed followers who are pushing this predatory narrative because they're so in awe with either trying to be like them, either worshiping them, or not worshiping God, or worshiping their denomination or where they come from. And so they're not even there seeing with the eyes of truth, but they're there seeing out of carnality. And so they're sitting up there and they're protecting them. And the leader, the bishop, the pastor, they know this. And so they know and they feel invisible. Oh, I can get away with this. I just have to make a statement to my church. I just have to tell them. And they're never going to question. Why is it so many people? Why is it always coming up? Why is everybody lying? So everybody's lying. Where there's a mouse, there's mice. And then it goes into the third stage. And the third stage is where they try to become intimate with you. And if you do not allow this, they drop you. They treat you like you're nothing. and they abandoned that young male or that young woman. But from my experience, I can only speak from a young male point of view. They abandoned that young male and they treat them like they're nothing because they didn't acquiesce to what they wanted sexually. And they look for another victim. And they know they can get away with it because their followers are not people that love the Lord. They worship the pastor. They worship the bishop. So they're not seeking for truth. And so this is the day and age that we're in. And I still believe that there are believers that do not worship personalities, so to speak. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're bishop this, prophet this, apostle that. But they really love the Lord. And so they really are worshiping the spirit of truth, which is Jesus. And they really are about that. And so they can see past that. I want to say to victims that might not have a platform or might feel like you're going to be judged, you can't say nothing, because this is what they try to tell you. You're going to be judged. You can't say nothing. You're sowing seed of tear. You know, God is the judge. Yeah, we know God is the judge, but God judges people also through legal systems. God judges people also through other people. There's a group of Christians, and we're here, and we believe in you, and we're here to support you. And if you've been feeling in your heart that you can't say nothing, now's the time for you to speak out. There's still a remnant group of Christians that are not worshiping celebrities. They're not worshiping how big someone's conference is, who they are, or their name, or their notoriety, but they believe in truth, and they're here for you. And I'm not a victim, but I am someone that is speaking truth to help victims that have experienced this, to say, we see you. And there's a group of Christians, men and women of God, that are the true men and women of God, that are here to pray for you. Some of the biggest monsters are right in front of your face, and they manipulate their pulpit to push their nasty agenda, and their followers are duplicitous to it.
Now, baby, a prophet got into some things in his dissertation. Not only did he describe the various stages of grooming, but he also went into how a lot of these people who can't see their leaders, their pop stars, the people who they fan out for who they are, is because, well, particularly in this case, when coming to religious figures, it's because these people don't worship God. They worship the individual themselves. Girl, the scriptures say, put your faith in no man, okay? That all people are subjected to sin and to faulty software, all right? That no man or woman is above that. That also don't mean that everybody is a big bad boogeyman, but it definitely means that there are big bad boogie damn men's, all right? Grooming is something that has went on in this society from day one. We know that our ancestors who were imported here, and our ancestors who were already on this land, who were dragged into slavery, were also sodomized, were sexually abused and exploited before their families, etc. They had whole fertility farms during this reign of the KKK. We also know that sexual abuse, unfortunately, is something that is very pervasive in our society when it comes to families, and certainly the Black community has its share of sexual abuse generationally. Why that is, I don't know. I think there's a lot that we have yet to come to understand about the minds of abusers. There are studies that are exploring genetic correlations, whether abuse is something that can be transferred genetically, whether it's hereditary. We also know, obviously, various types of abuse can lead to sexual deviancy, even if the abuse itself is not sexual in nature. Human consciousness and the way that it experiences poverty, trauma, etc., it's a very complex thing. And I was just stating in a previous live that just like we need to really explore the correlation between power and wealth and sexual perversion, I think that we need to also study the impact that systemic poverty and intergenerational trauma has on minorities. Because if this is something that is super pervasive in the Black community, then we have to make the reasonable assumption that it's the environmental factors, it's the systemic issues that are all leading to the development of this personification of sexuality and the development of hypersexuality, etc. I'm sure there is a connection point between the two. I'm willing to bet my left titty on it. All right. So you guys also heard Prophet Jordan state that he did not experience, or he does not consider himself to be a victim. All right. Some of y'all may be wondering, what the hell does that mean? Well, Dr. Larry Reid expounds upon why Prophet Jordan does not identify as a victim. All right. Make sure that you guys go over and subscribe to Dr. Larry Reid. He is one of the leading voices and platforms regarding this controversy around T.D. Jakes, etc. And we're going to listen to what Dr. Reid had to say, because him and Prophet Jordan had a personal exchange that he had permission to share with everyone else as it relates to him not considering himself a victim. So let's take a look and a listen to Dr. Larry Reid. Hold on, let me share my old nasty piece of screen. Let me change over my microphone. Thumbs up if you're in the building, and subscribe if you're new here. We do it all, baby. We do it all.
Manipulate their pulpit and how their followers just really grab hold of it and just hold up the arms of that particular person that is actually guilty of grooming for the purposes of being sexual with someone. The story that Prophet Manasseh Jordan is telling you is a story that he told me a while ago and swore me to secrecy. Little did I know that he had also confided in his sister and showed her proof, there is proof, of how he was communicating with him and how it really messed with his mind. And the reality is that it actually caused Manasseh to experience some real trauma. So when he says that he's not a victim, what he's saying is he was not physically violated. However, everything else he discussed in this video, he experienced it at the hands of Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he told me it was Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yo,
this is not the only situation or the only person that has a testimony or story like this. Some others, it did get physical. But for Manasseh, it was grooming. And the grooming was excessive, manipulative, and he did confront Bishop Jakes about it and how he was handled. But that's all I'm going to say as it relates to that, because Manasseh can tell that part. In fact, what would be really good, since Manasseh is so great at articulating the grooming thing, is if he, maybe we can partner together and do a documentary and call all of these guys together. I think that would be a better thing to do, honestly, than going to the courts in Dallas. I think the best thing to do is to produce a documentary that talks to all of the guys from the 10 major Black pastors in America who have boyfriends, adjutants, assistants, that their wife know nothing about, some they do know, and how they were handled, stripped of their dignity. They were dropped when they were tired of fucking these old buses and these limp tied pins.
Now, before Dr. Reid goes any further, I want to expound upon some things. So Dr. Reid saying that he doesn't feel, he feels like there should be a documentary, etc., and that this will probably bring about more justice than going to the police is, for one, when it comes to a lot of very high profile people, as we are learning with Tyler Perry, as we've learned with Diddy as well, who's tied into the police state of Florida, that a lot of these individuals are well connected in the criminal justice system. Cora Jakes, who is the daughter of T.D. Jakes, whose husband is serving time right now for allegedly SAing one of their children. The judge in Cora Jakes' husband's case is a Potter's House member. So is the DA. So were the attorneys. These high-profile people run in exclusive high-profile circles. They run entire businesses. They're also aware a lot of times of the crimes they plan on committing as it relates, because they have the means, they have the clout, they have the celebrity, and they have the money to compromise folk. So they also incubate themselves in the criminal justice system, which is why oftentimes we as the public are left crying about a lack of justice, or why people get a slap on the wrist, or how often have we seen time and time again people simply take the moolah and they take the settlement. Hell, Cassie also took a settlement, etc. One of the powerful things as it relates to social media is that there is a such thing called cancel culture. And we know that cancel culture does not cancel a person entirely. It doesn't necessarily strip them of all of their money, but there is reasonable impact because sponsors, corporations pull out, brand deals pull out, the visibility of that person is stripped. They're also subjected to public humiliation as a result of these crimes being dealt with in the public space. Is that the public witch hunt oftentimes also acts as a means for this person's behavior to be widespread, which also informs everyone else about who this person is as a result of them being sat down. They no longer have the social equity to use or to weaponize against struggling artists or against well-meaning, innocent people who are coming in to be the next pastor or prophet or pop star or rapper, etc. There's a lot of injury that succumbs to the perpetrator. In this case, we've seen people deeply canceled. We watched P. Diddy almost be canceled in a whole 48-hour period, baby. Okay, they essentially reduced him down to the P girl and got rid of the damn Diddy. So now he just P, period. Okay? Also, I think there is something to be said that there needs to be a really deep conversation. And essentially both can really happen. Okay? Any person who's been SA'd or subjected to sexual assault can do and probably should do both pursue the criminal aspect and the civil. Those things can also be tied in together. You can a lot of times have both suits, especially when this person has an estate, when they have businesses, etc., when they identify as various entities on paper. We've seen it done before, but I think the conversation part is necessary too. We know that a lot of these predators take up spaces as coaches, teachers. They are attracted to these occupations because it makes victims accessible, positions of leadership, etc. And I also think there needs to be something spoken to regarding Black men's sexuality and the toxicity and the rampant prevailing homophobia that the down low community uses as a justification to hide their sexual proclivities, etc. Because let's take away the criminality aspect and just deal with the sexuality aspect, because Larry asked the audience, could you guys receive T.D. Jakes if he came out as a pansexual, bisexual man today? And many people in the audience said, hell nah. They couldn't receive that. Iyanla Vanzant says something really powerful in an episode of Fix My Life. She said, secrets spiritually unalive people. That secrets, shame, distorts and mutates something in the spiritual makeup of human beings, whatever that secret is. I think that a documentary exploring sometimes the reckless abandonment that led to people being victimized, whether it was in the religious context, parents over trusting their community leaders, over trusting their pastors, their prophets, their prophetess. How that can be prevented. I think there needs to continue to be conversations around resolving the stigma around queerphobia, so that Black men who are dealing with certain realities and desires, etc., don't have to express their sexuality in some of the unhealthy ways it's being expressed, because they feel they have to navigate homophobia. And anything that you have to navigate from a place of discretion and secrecy usually is going to ride the lines of coercion. There's a way that you navigate freedom that is very distinct from the way that you navigate secrecy. And most things that are being done in secrecy look and appear to be criminal because the secrecy itself just forces it to take shape that way. So when Larry gets into talking about, you know, how he don't think there's anything wrong with a man being attracted to another man, there is nothing wrong with that. But as he also said, the entitlement to people's bodies, the lack of consent, etc., that's where these men are effing up at. And obviously, there's a certain level of truth and self-acceptance you got to have with yourself in order to be comfortable enough to have those adult interactions as it relates to having a sexual interest in someone. But there is also something to be said about Black men's inability to even accept themselves when the messaging from the community is so shame-based and is so dense. And when the messaging from the community and from the church and from the social norms is that there isn't even any room for you to accept your bisexuality or your pansexuality or whatever the fuck it is that you are, your trans attraction, because those things in and of itself are narrated to be abnormal, etc. Now, consent. There are people who how can I word this? There are certain people who have come forward privately, who have yet to come forward publicly, who are not per se victims of the individuals in question. Some of these people are willing participants. Some of these people were not coerced. They were not groomed. There was a mutual understanding between both parties. Okay? Now, we live in an era, right, where there are sugar babies. I want to say, in a way, I'm a sugar baby, but without all of the, like, technicality to it, right? Like, they're just fine-ass men that I have at my disposal who love them some CTV, and they take care of CTV. Okay? Like, for instance, I got a real big dick nigga up north. He's a well-known holistic leader up north. And he freaky as hell. And he has a specific fetish where he likes me to tie his ass up and to wrap his ass up like a caterpillar inside of a goddamn cocoon and do all type of despicable things to him. He also has a face-sitting fetish, which entails me riding his face with my big rump to the point that he is lacking oxygen and is peering into the other side. You know, he likes to be tormented and shit. Now, we have a good time together. And he takes care of the king. You know, he gifted me, you know, two of my favorite pieces, you know, were gifted to me by my sugar daddy. My sugar daddy. And sometimes he just likes to fly me out on a red eye just to smash my cheeks up against his face all night long until he's needing an asthma pump. And sometimes I'm home back in the same day, flying cross country, in and out, literally. Nah. So when we use the word concubine, some of these folk who are right now privately making claims against certain folk are not per se victims. They are willing participants. They're signing up for the journey and they're getting whatever it is they're getting out of the deal. For some of them, that's money. For some of them, that's proximity. That's access to various opportunities, if you will. And then you have the prophets who have actually been victimized. They had unwanted advancements made, or they had their careers and their ambitions weaponized against them and were put in very compromising positions, and unfortunately fell prey to people in power who knew how desperate some people are to make it. Real time, it's never too much when you in my house, bitch. You in my house. Okay? It's no such thing as TMI when you in my house, baby. Okay? You in the Queen's Court now, bitch. All right? You don't get to have a recommendation. You don't get to make no requests. And any changes or censorship you prefer, you can cash at the doll at $ Consciouztv and pay me to accommodate you. And until you do, bitch, suck my dick from the back. Okay, because I'll add more to it before I take it motherfucking back. Matter of fact, while I'm adding more goddamn to it, bitch. There's another niggle, big dick niggle, okay, who love him some CTV girl. Okay, we go back way, probably over a decade now. And this nigga has a feet fetish. And sometimes he likes to fly me out, girl, just so that he could smell it all. He don't want me to put nothing nowhere. He don't want me to insert nothing. He don't want to insert nothing, girl. He just want me to keep my feet pretty and fly me out so he could just pack my feet under his nose and take a big sniff in and out. My up north nigga who love me to face sit on him hardcore. Sometimes, girl, he wants me to bring my 3-day-old drawers that are now in the hamper, pack them up with me, and then while I'm doing all type of inhumane things to him at his request, he like me to take those drawers and fold it over his face like a Carisha 19 mask, and like to inhale all the king's pheromones While his eyeballs roll to the back of his head and his toes curl until the point of breaking. See, Auntie Deb know what the hell I'm talking about. Her ex is a freak. Okay, I said my ex had also a smell fetish, honey. Okay. Baby, the pussy got equity on it. Now, some of y'all might be appalled. And that's because God ain't made us all equal, baby. Some of y'all just got raggedy ass parts. Okay? Some of y'all just got low equity on your property, baby. That ain't my fault, baby. God gave some of us, baby, mansions and castles and things, and some of y'all in a double wide trailer out back. All right? That ain't my problem. Okay? So some of y'all ain't gonna know what some of us good pussy ass bitches up here talking about. When to come and having strong equity, baby, on your pots, baby. Okay? The only people frowning up, baby, is the folk who got fupas, corns, bunions, baby. Okay? Who got a diet of lasagna and shark meat, baby. Okay? Ain't nobody wanting to sniff nothing. Nowhere. That ain't my problem, baby. It's all, in the words of my girl, in the words of my baby mother, the missus, baby, it's all big pussy energy over here, baby. Okay? All of us, favor ain't fair. I never said it was, baby. Okay? But it's a reason why the doll stays dolled, baby. Okay? There's equity. All right? And you get it how you live how do you get it. Now, we're going to move it along. Oh, we almost at 45K. Let's get back to Dr. Reid, girl, okay? We'll have that discussion another day. I just wanted to make it clear, though, that not all of the people who are coming forward and who are providing their narratives and their tea privately right now, everybody is not a victim. Like Larry said, some of these folk are boyfriends, some of these folk are lovers, some of these folk are, just people who doing business with great men in power. All right?
But they were doing it so that they could have a quality of life. And they had to choose between the money or elderly, wrinkled up, bad-bodied, bishop. So let me be the voice that attach Bishop T.D. Jakes' name to what Manasseh was saying, because Manasseh said I could. That's why I posted it, and I slapped T.D. Jakes' name on it. Anybody know my platform and integrity? I don't do clickbait, and I don't tell lies. You're not going to find a live video broadcast of me saying something that wasn't true.
Exactly, Charita, honey. In the words of Funky Dineva, baby. Okay? Nobody can't spray you, girl, when you spraying your own tea, honey. Okay? Bitch, I learned from the doctor, girl, okay? Transparency is everything, girl. They can't spray you with your own tea, girl. It ain't no shame in my game, baby, because y'all know, bitch, I'd rather let a motherfucking nigga sniff these draws before I work for a white man's anything anywhere. For a livelihood, baby. Okay? Baby, if God gonna make all this pretty, honey, it's for a good reason, girl. And I'm gonna use what I got to get what I want, baby. Okay? Y'all ain't gonna never see me behind no white man's register, no white man's cute. Not for me. Not for me, it ain't, baby. It's way easier ways to get to a bag doing far less at that. Okay? When you got niggas who can deposit eight racks in your account just to sniff your feet. Come on over here, Cletus. Come on over here, Clyde. Come on over here. I got what you need, baby. Okay? While another bitch want to cling to her register, baby. Come on over here. Because these feet can be made for walking or being in your motherfucking mouth. You pick your pleasure.
Because I wait. In addition to, now there's details to what happened between Bishop Jakes and Manasseh. And I'm not going to tell all those details because I think it needs to be a well-produced documentary. And if you are watching me and you see that Manasseh was able to trust me for a long time and I never said nothing. If you are watching me, I want you to email LarryReidLive@gmail.com so that you can be a part of this documentary. But you better have some receipts like Manasseh got that can prove your dealing, that can prove what happened to you. Now, don't contact me if y'all were fucking with consent and he cut it off, y'all broke up and he went his way. I don't want your story. Well, I take that back. Sarita may want to know that story. So give me that story. I'll just pass it to her. Because y'all know I know how to get in touch with you first ladies. Direct. I mean, because LRLs are everywhere. But I want you to contact me at LarryReidLive@gmail.com. I will not disclose your identity at all unless you want it to be disclosed. I will not tell no news outlet, like they like to call. They've been calling me all week. I'm not going to tell them your name. But I need to know your story. I need the information so we can do a documentary. Now, let me say this.
Okay, so I want to take a pause there. I think some keynotes worth mentioning here and what Doctor said about this hypothetical documentary is, for one, a lot of people have conflated this to be out of maliciousness. Larry ain't articulate nothing around no maliciousness. It's a conversation, a long overdue conversation about things that have been a reality in our culture, around things in part, especially when it comes to human sexuality and what people are really attracted to, regardless of their roles and their titles, that people should be able to speak and divulge and share without losing their positions, without losing their respect on their gifts, etc. And as it relates to anything that is in the realm of criminal and abuse, the key word here is, Larry said, receipts. Unlike what a lot of y'all raggedy hoes be doing out there in these YouTube streets, where y'all just let anybody with a damn narrative, girl, anybody with an imagination, just come up, girl. They ain't even got to come up humanly. They ain't even got to cam up. They ain't got to do nothing, girl. Okay? All they can do is have a script in front of them, girl. Okay? Don't even know how to use StreamYard. And just be talking that sweet slander shit, girl. Okay? Key word here is receipts. Okay? That's also how your ass avoid lawsuits, is with receipts. Anything regarding a public figure, especially a rich motherfucking one who can bankrupt your ass through the legalities that you ain't got no receipts from, I'm so sorry. That's probably something that you gonna have to divulge to your mama and your family, but not something you're gonna be able to do through a legit platform where people got them credit scores to save, because they ain't got time to be fucking up with you about what you can't verify and clarify, girl. So the key word here is receipts. Not asking for anybody with a feeling, anybody who thought they had an experience, anybody who was violated in their soul, but only what you can prove unequivocally to be the case. or allowed. See, that's how you vet your sources. Those are the people that you can entrust to give and extend your platform to, because content creators have to also protect themselves, because at the end of the day, a lot of times it ain't gonna be the motherfucker who came to the live with the story that's gonna be held accountable. It's gonna be the content creator that provided that space, who sliced and diced and repurposed that content all over the other damn social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. It's going to be that individual. So that's how you protect yourself as a content creator. I hope people catching on the game. Receipts. Also, I want to make mention of something that I made mention of last night. All content creators are not built equal. Right? So there are some people who are feeling like, what gives the doctor the authority to say some of the things that he's been saying in his own words? He's talking about what he knows to be true. He's talking about things he has seen, heard for himself. Now, another bitch who ain't got no receipts to corroborate the things that are being alleged right now, that ain't Dr. Reid's business. That ain't his responsibility. What another hoe don't know, receipts that another hoe don't got. He can only speak from what he knows, from what he has at his disposal. For the videos, the audios, etc., that are in his gallery. What another bitch don't got is what they don't got. What they don't got don't speak to what everybody else don't got. Okay? So all content creators are not made equal, baby. Some of these hoes ain't got it. And some of us got it. All right? Now, Larry just said something also significant. He the receipt king. You guys know I'm the same way, baby. I ain't gonna speak about what the fuck I can't prove, bitch, okay? Y'all know whether I'm defending myself or defending Storm or Larry or anybody else, girl, okay, that we are known over here as the receipt kings. Okay, I done learned for the best, baby. Okay, because Larry came on here being overzealous as well in the earlier years of his YouTube career. So he learned from his own mistakes about how to protect himself and the science to being a voice that can act as an authority on matters, which is rooted in you being a truth teller and being able to verify and clarify your motherfucking perspective. All right? Larry got that shit down to a science. Now, with that being said, I want to say something before I let this video play a little bit more. You guys know that I spoke in my live before last that there have been people that have came forward. This is what I'm going to say. Everything that's being said, it ain't a lie. Everything that's being said, it ain't people hating. It ain't people doing anything for just click and views. I have sources very close to the situation who have shared certain things with me to the extent of me being shocked to learn that allegedly the wife knows about certain activities and behaviors as well. Now, once again, all these people who are coming forward, consulting, confiding in influencers, all of these people are not per se victims. Some of these people are lovers, ex-lovers. Some of these people who are just laying it low and spreading it wide in order to get to the next stage in Squid Games. Consenting adults. Now, I'm going to be honest. I find it hard to believe that the wife knows. I just don't know if I just don't know. The wife knows. And here's why I don't believe the wife knows about these alleged behaviors. It's not necessary. The only way I can imagine that she knows is if she has come across by accident some things that were being kept from her. Outside of that circumstance, there really is no reason for her husband to disclose those very taboo things to his very conservative Black wife. Because there's so much room and opportunity for the husband to be able to get away with being discreet. He is a businessman. It's easy for him to conceal some of his meetups as I'm going to a business meeting. I'm flying out to consult with producers, directors, etc. The husband is high-profile individual. He's got his hand in Hollywood. He's got his hand in daytime television. He's got his hand in religious business. He got so many cover stories. There's so much opportunity for him to conceal the taboo things that he does. What would be the point of disclosing to the wife? Now, let me tell you something. How else wealthy men triangulate their wives? They give them motherfuckers shit to do. You are less likely to be worried about if I'm doing anything I shouldn't be doing. If, for one, at surface level, we're living a very great, holy life. You will a well-respected individual. And I'm delegating tasks and chores to your ass and making sure that you occupied in the bottom's house, baby. Making sure, honey, that you carrying water from the well. Making sure that you got babies and children to raise. Making sure that you got first lady duties. That you got nonprofits and you got things to do. Because long as you busy, baby. Long as you preoccupied. Long as you got your fair share of distractions. You ain't got time to be worried about whether something ain't right, really, in the buttermilk. And T.D. Jakes' wife, she gives me a woman who just happy to be out of a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath house. She gives me a woman who really believes that the lifestyle and the manifestations of the silver and gold in her and her husband's life are a literal result and byproduct of righteousness and holiness and the love and blessing of God. If there's one thing that I know about hardcore church going, Bible thumping, choir singing, tambourine banging people, is that they so desperately want to be affirmed by God through the manifestations of blessings, which ensures to them that they are who they are and that they are significant in God's eyes. And the bigger the blessings, the more they convince themselves, the more significant and meaningful and the more sentiment they have in the eyes of God. This would be easy for her to believe. She doesn't really have a reason to entertain a conspiracy outside of her religious programming, where her whole life depends on appeasing a strict, holy, hard to please as God. And the fact that her and her husband have managed to amass wealth and global visibility is the ultimate sign of God's kiss upon their lives. If T.D. Jakes was not a husband in their dating process, in their courting process, in their engagement process, in their marital process before he popped off to be caught up in scandal and infidelity, this is even more reason for her to give her husband the benefit of a doubt. Because there's no correlation. There's no context to go from our humble beginnings in love, just making our way through life, start off as just a God-loving couple in a storefront who elevated and elevated and elevated and elevated and elevated in our community and in the world through servitude, through consecration, through being of great service and sacrificial, and all of the struggle to get here. This is what we deserve. It's supposed to look like this, especially when you done got it from the mud, when you done got it from the bottom up. No pun intended, T.D. Jakes. It's supposed to look like this when you done slaved for God. In the words of Mo Dives, when you done been swallowed up in servitude, the end reward, right, is always the promise of God supplying all your needs and desires and fantasies. Because the Black church has had a really big interest and habit of treating God like Santa Claus rather than like the Lord and the Creator. What's going on, Janice Franklin? You are taught in the earlier years of Christianhood that if you do the right thing, you obey the laws of Christ, you pray diligently, you make all the right decisions, that you're supposed to be the Lord's or end up as the Lord's MVP. And that the decision is so great that that's what you then go and evangelize to the world. Look at what God did for me. Look at all this. You too can have this. So why would, if these things are true, I'm going to say hypothetically, I'm going to say allegedly, why would Jakes need to tell her the truth when the religious grooming and the manifestation of serving a difficult God is enough for her to be in religious bliss alone? Why question that? There's no reason for her to question the four walls of her blessing. There's no reason to do that. I got a husband that I watch break his neck and serve God and serve his family. I came into this marriage with two gay-ass LGBT children. This is a good man, Savannah. He ain't perfect, but he ain't a bussy popping member of the goddamn black boule bitch. And I would get up off this wheelchair and let go of these crutches and bust any of you hoes in the head if you try to tell me anything different about my dad. How dare you say this is the result of the Illuminati? This is God's blessing. This is God's reward. We've been faithful to God. You don't think I goddamn deserve to be first lady after I allowed 2 bellies, 3 goddamn necks, and a pint of damn sweat to consume me every night? Baby, the way I had to lay this coochie up under them bellies, bitch, you don't think that alone makes me deserving of first lady status? Baby, you don't think God was going to bless us for that sacrifice by and in and of itself? Do you know what it's like to be swallowed up by T.D. Jakes, bitch? You best to know the Lord was going to come for me, baby. You best to know that the Lord wasn't going to hold out on me after I allowed myself to be swallowed up in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Daughter. So I'm just saying all that to say that I can believe that Celie over there, naive as a damn blind cat, really believe the surface version of things, that what it looks like makes sense to her. The math makes sense. We God-loving people, we holy, we righteous, and all of this. My husband being a billionaire, my husband being respected amongst all worlds, both secular, spiritual, and religious. That you just watching the glow up, baby. Y'all know Christians are some of the most braggadocious people in the world, sugar. They love to show off what God allegedly done did for them, girl. So this is the ultimate God flex. Why would T.D. Jakes strip his wife of a fantasy she so willingly wants to be a reality? Everything right now supports that Alice is in a great wonderland. Why take that from her? Why tell her that I'm down there to the Caesar's Palace, 60 miles across town, dressed up like Pippi damn Longstoppy, getting plunged in my ass while I'm popping pussy on a handstand. Why tell Alice that? For what? What's the redeeming quality? So that this is just another motherfucker I'm gonna have to put on the hit list? Like all the rest of the motherfuckers who I know bury my damn secrets? No, this is just one extra motherfucker I ain't got to worry about taking the hell up out of this world by just letting her indulge and believe in the fantasy. Let her believe in the fantasy. It's too much work to tell folk the truth. And the more you tell the truth to folk, the more liability there is. So any clever thinking individual is trying to keep the truth in the hands of as few as possible. Which is why to Larry Reid's question about rather, that, we just want a conversation and Jakes should show up to the conversation. It's never going to happen. Because from a logical left brain standpoint, and from the context of being a religious figure, there's no redeeming quality in being a black man married to a black woman who's in great leadership position in the black church and telling all these overly judgmental, critical assholes and heathens in the audience that I'm a gay or bisexual man, power bottoming 3 nights a week. Ain't no redeeming quality in that. Ain't nothing but a little small minority fringe OnlyFans group that's going to champion my ass for being innovative. I'm going to lose the respect of the majority, which is why I think that in order before we can encourage men to come out, there's also a lot of repairing that has to first and foremost, in my opinion, be done to society. Because you're not going to get men to come out about their fluidity, about their sexual truths, as long as society is dangerous emotionally and mentally and physically. Logic says, no, ma'am. I'll spare myself from the witch hunt. There's no reason to walk toward a burning house. There's no point to rush toward a storm. There's no redeeming quality in that. Which is why I feel the documentary would be a fabulous idea, because it could be multifaceted and deal with all of these complex areas of power, wealth, how power and wealth intersects with human sexuality, how power and wealth intersects with pre-existing trauma that leads to people abusing and weaponizing their money and their power. I think that the documentary idea could be brilliant and deeply informative and very layered. And I also don't think that takes away from anybody who's been victimized also being able to run down to the law and utilize the law if that's what they so desire and please. That's completely a preference to anybody who's actually been victimized in the system. Exactly, Modest. The documentary would blow the lid off stuff, but why it gotta be us though? Because who else is gonna be? And why not us? If these are issues that are pervasive in our community, if we're dealing with molestation, sexual abuse, intergenerational transference of trauma via sexual abuse, etc., the burden is ours to blow the lid off. Let the pale folk take care of the Vatican and the Catholics and the systemic issues they got going on around SA in their religious systems, and let melanated people take care of their shit. Why not? Who else is going to do it but us? And if we don't, only more people risk our children, our daughters, our granddaughters, our nieces, our nephews, risk ending up in the belly of the beast. It's always got to be us. If the problem is colored like us, then we got to be the problem solvers. I agree, JL. The gay preachers need to stop hiding behind Christianity. I agree with that. But also, Christianity need to stop acting like they preachers ain't gay. Christianity need to accept that your religious belief does not dictate nor determine your orientation. The church got to stop acting like folk don't have a sexuality when everybody in the church is the result of huffing and puffing. When everybody in the church is the result of somebody doing the nasty. Somebody doing the ungodly. What's going on, Classy Queen? The church is not ready for the wake-up call that is bursting out of its seams. It's not. But the church ain't gonna never be ready, which is why the innovators and the visionaries and the truth seekers are gonna have to blow the lid off for the church. It's kind of like when your child is on training wheels and you know that as long as on training wheels there, baby, there's never gonna come a day where they're gonna voluntarily want to ride that bike without them wheels. That's the status of the church. The church ain't gonna never be ready for reality because the church is very fantasy prone. It's very idealistic. And that has been causing the church to implode from the inside out. Now, once again, I don't know what's going to happen with this T.D Jakes shit. What I do know is that there are people who are ready to come forward. And there are people who are coming forward with the wherewithal to back up their narratives. We're not talking about people who simply got a story. What that's going to mean for the Black church and the Black community is it's time for us to do the goddamn work. I think there are a multitude of conversations that need to be had around abuse, around power, around wealth, around materiality, around the fact that we also as a society are grooming young people to end up in transactional situations like this because we practice transactionalness even down to our homes. We have reward-based systems from kindergarten on up to the senior class. We have a reward-based transactional system when it comes to do your chores, or you make good grades this semester, I'll get you them Jordans, I'll get you them. We already practicing a pimp hoe dynamic. We just don't narrate it that way. We already practice transactional grooming. And then we wonder why so many young people fall prey to selling their souls and trading out whatever their personal morals and ethics are in exchange for something material, because that's already happening at the household level. This ain't rocket science. We are witch hunting against the end result of grooming by those who don't love our children, who don't love our babies, who don't love our loved ones. But the reason why they ended up consenting to begin with is because of the society and because of the grooming processes they inherited from birth, coming into a transactional, conditional society. We do it, punishing young people through silent treatment. You're already showing them that they're entitled only to love by way of giving you what you want. And because you not showing up the way I want you to, because of your behavior or because of something you said or something you did, etc., all of this is psychological conditioning. All of this makes people susceptible to other transactional dynamics. And humans aren't really that smart, so they don't make contextual differences and distinctions between the boundaries placed in their homes, where grooming methods are being utilized so that the parents can get what they want out of their children when it comes to obedience and discipline and getting them to do the things they want them to do, and the difference between an actual predator preying on them using those grooming methods. Because the method is the same in both instances, even if the intent is different. And that's what I mean, Moldive. A lot of people don't think about it that way. And that's why there's hardly any conversation that we can have around the villains of our society that don't come without us evaluating society first. And the correlation between the phenomenon that keeps showing up in societal spaces. That's all connected to the way in which we engage each other, the way in which we treat each other, and the type of shit that starts upon a person coming into this world and into these systems and having these methods of extortion and blackmailing perpetuated on them from people that love them, aka their family, aka whoever acts as the authorities in this situation. This is why all this conversation in this new age around conscious parenting, etc., we need to entertain those conversations, because I think there's a lot of things that we're doing unconsciously that are setting things up to become the things that they end up becoming. Just like even talking about the download community, we can't address people being self-liberated without also addressing people who harm people who want to be liberated. Because fear is a rational, instinctual, primal response. That's human nature. And you got to be real pressed about your freedom, bitch, to want to be free anyway, even if you know it may cost you your damn life. Why you think so many of the slaves were able to stay in formation on those plantations, even though there were only 12 overseers and there wasn't even hardly a fence keeping them in, because the fence was psychological. People rationalize their suffering. All grooming starts here. The brain ain't making a distinction between the grooming methods of your parents and the grooming methods of the old ass man down there to the McDonald's that's coming on to you as a 14, 15-year-old girl or 14, 15-year-old boy. And the same transactional techniques that put you in a position to get what you want from your babies are the same transactional fucking techniques that these abusers are using to compromise these young minds and these young people. So conversations around grooming is necessary. Teaching our having these dialogues are significant, and finding other holistic ways to parent to make sure that we ourselves as guardians are not utilizing methods of the enemy unbeknownst to us, which only set our young people up once again to be exploited by these very same powers. You know, one of the reasons why I'm gonna say that for another conversation. Hey, Phyllis, you saved and religious. You would excuse a predator just because he's your pastor. Fantasy prone. But this is what Prophet Manasseh was talking about. People idolize the person. When that happens, they can't see anything else. I think Larry calls it a church brain. You know? When you're locked in, loaded, baby. You're locked into the delusion. Let's listen to a little bit more of this, and then we'll conclude, because we got part 2 to get into, because T.D. Jakes got a lot going on in his... Actually, I think we're good on that. T.D. Jakes got a lot going on. You got Core Jakes, who allegedly is an infant snatcher, baby. That bitch thinks she the hand that rocks the damn cradle, girl. You got sexual assault going on right in the Core Jakes household. You got sons who outsourcing for dick in parks. There's a lot going on. A lot. Tell me what you all think. What do you think, girl? Do you believe that T.D. Jakes is guilty? What do you think about Prophet Manasseh? What do you think about his experience where he was not physically assaulted, but he was, according to him, being psychologically groomed by the pastor of the Bottoms house, girl? What do y'all think about a receipt-filled documentary regarding the reality of religious grooming, Black male sexuality, and its intersection with power and money? Is T.D. Jakes just another Black man with a dysfunctional ass family? Just another squirrel trying to get a nut, and he's just guilty by association? Or is there corruption in the bottom's house. Y'all let me know. I'll see y'all tomorrow for part 2. Shout out to the 1K in the chat. Make sure you guys share and subscribe. And if you enjoyed yourself here, girl, show the cane that is real on Cash App and that PayPal. Cassie indeed has opened Pandora's box, and it ain't letting up no time soon. The age of Aquarius is going to make sure that the lid is blown. Told y'all, Olympus is falling. You're going to see this exposes in the government, religious systems, Hollywood. You're going to see it in society. The volcano is erupting, baby. You're welcome, Lock Queen. Y'all know how we get it in here. It's a lot to unpack. So we'll be here back tomorrow. I love y'all. Bye.